Hello dear students. Today we are going to study about the remaining cell organelles which are very essential in the cell components. So in the previous session we have studied about the endoplasmic reticulum and their subtypes and their significance and their structure. So in the today's session we are going to study about the next cell organelle that is also as important as the endoplasmic reticulum. So here second one, that is a Golgi apparatus. So what is the Golgi apparatus? I hope you are hearing this word newly. So its structure, how it looks under the microscope or the electron microscope, is it? So that is look like this, but this is the 3D picture. Okay, so it is also having so many parts. Okay, so before that we will know about few points the Golgi apparatus. What is it? So named after the Camillo Golgi. So who has discovered the Golgi apparatus? That is a Camillo Golgi. So that's why he has put forth this diagram as a Golgi apparatus. So why it is apparatus, we will see. Who first discovered it? So it is a network of membrane bound vesicles arranged in a parallel ways. So how it is arranged in a parallel ways? So see. So these are the tube like structures. Is it? All these the tube like structures. So they are arranged in a parallel manner. So next it's again having a vesicles. So you can say where are the vesicles? These. The circular or spherical ball like shaped structure, those are the, all these are the nothing but the vesicles. So that's why it is nothing but a compactly made up of the 2-3 components or the things. So that's why it is known as the apparatus. Okay, so it is consisting of a vesicles and tube like structures, membrane bound, parallel stacks. Okay, so these parallel type of these stacks are nothing but, it's called as a cisterns. So these are called as a cisterns. Okay, so you can see here there is the name cistern, is it? The parallel structure, and it is located near a nucleus in animal cells. So where it is located? It's located near the nucleus membrane. Just we have studied about the in the last session the endoplasmic reticulum also situated or located near to the or attached to the nuclear membrane. Same as of the endoplasmic reticulum, it is also attached likewise only. Now, so what are the parts of the Golgi apparatus? First one, that is the vesicles, is it? Next one, the cristae, which is just ending portion of these tube structures, is it? These are the ending structure of the tube like structure, that is called as a cistern. Okay, and now it is also having a lumen, the middle portion, that is a tube like, actually the middle portion which is in a parallel way, that is called as a lumen. Okay, so next, this much is about Golgi apparatus for your class only. Okay, so if we study in more details, then you will get confused. So it's better that in 9th standard you will study about this in detail. So till now you have to just keep in mind that it's a network of membrane bound vesicles arranged in a parallel to each other in a stack like manner. That's nothing but called as a cristae. Okay, next, it is located near the nucleus in animal cells. Okay, and in case of the plant, where they located, they are just embedded very we can say in anywhere, it will be appear in number of ways. Okay, so it is not a specific place for the Golgi apparatus in case of the plant. Okay, they are just what can we say, scattered. Okay, in a scattered way they used to be present in the plant cells. So, or you can also, it is called as it is a freely distributed in the plant cells. So in case of the plant cell, whichever the Golgi apparatus are present in case of plant cells. Such Golgi apparatus are called as the dictosomes. So what it called? It's called as dictosomes, but only in case of the plant cells. And in plant cells they are freely distributed. They are not attached to any nucleus or the nuclear membrane. Okay. Now, next is their significance. What is the significance? Just you will understand now. So it's transport the material inside and outside of the cell. So same as of the we have studied about the endoplasmic reticulum. They also used to synthesize the protein and lipid and used to transfer to the different cells. Same about the Golgi apparatus also. They transpose the material inside and outside of the cell. Okay, one more point. The material manufactured in the endoplasmic reticulum is dispatched to various parts inside and outside of the cell through the Golgi apparatus. So we actually said that in endoplasmic reticulum the synthesized lipid and proteins are transported towards the cell, different cells, is it, to work their different functions. So here, through which the endoplasmic reticulum is going to be distributed or the pass to the cell, through the only Golgi apparatus, because some of the vesicles or the Golgi apparatus cisternae are just connected to the endoplasmic reticulum, or you can also call it as the Golgi apparatus sometimes attached, or many times it's attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, next to the endoplasmic reticulum, and then they used to transport that endoplasmic reticulum synthesized protein molecules to the next, what can we say, to the next organelle, and next organelle will be whichever that may be after the Golgi apparatus, that will transfer outside the plasma membrane and next to the any of the cells. Now, the storage of it is a storage of various cellular secretions. So it is also used to store the many types of the secretions. Okay, that is a cell type of the secretions. There is enzymes, proteins, cellulose. So proteins and cellulose is nothing but the biomolecules which is essential for the working as a processes. Okay, so enzymes is also a same as of the cellular secretion. Now what is the cellulose? It is a complex glucose molecule which is only present in the plant cell. Okay, it is not produced inside the animal cell, but this in case of the plant cell, if you are writing about the Golgi apparatus, at that time you just mention it stores the various cellular secretion, enzymes, proteins and cellulose. But in case of the animal cells, you can write storage of a various cellular secretion like enzyme and proteins etc. Next, it synthesizes the whatever it used to be synthesized, okay, that will be get transferred. Means who is going to be synthesized? Endoplasmic reticulum is going to synthesize the protein molecules that is going to be transferred to the different cells by the or through the Golgi apparatus. Okay. Now, it synthesize of a lysosome. So what does do the Golgi apparatus? Golgi apparatus used to synthesize the lysosome organelle. So that is also one cell organelle. From their vesicles only the lysosome used to be produced. Okay, in the next we are going to see what is meant by the lysosome. Okay, so this was about the Golgi apparatus, how its structure, what is their significance, and in case of the plants and animals how they differ. Next, that is the lysosomes. So lysosome is a synthesized or produced from the Golgi apparatus of the vesicles, the spherical rounded shaped, just we have seen. Okay, now the membrane bound vesicles containing variety of a digestive enzyme. So what is this main role of the lysosome? You can see it's a spherical like structure and inside having a hollow structure. Okay, and they act as a storage organelle. Okay, they used to be produce or having their own digestive enzymes. So now See, who is producing the digestive enzyme? Lysosome. That will help to different cells to digest the different types of the materials or the molecules which is coming outside and which is present inside, and that is going to be synthesized by different organelles. Is it? Next, what is their structure? You can see it is having membrane, and inside the small spherical structures or the, you can say, holes are present. In that the hydrolytic enzymes is going to be present. Now it's a, and on their surfaces, okay, they having a transport proteins. So the transport protein is nothing but they used to be transport towards the different organelles whenever it required. Now you can see where it located in the plant cell. See this one. Here, is it? So in case of the Golgi apparatus, you can see those are here, the greenish portion, is it? So this is just next to the endoplasmic reticulum. That's why it is possible to transport the synthesizer protein from one cell to one organelle to next organelle. So what are the significance of the lysosome? Significance is that it digests the waste material and worm out the organelles. So whatever the waste materials are present or will be produced inside the cells, okay, that is going to be digested by the lysosome, because they used to secrete the one enzyme that is known as a digestive enzyme. Now it defends against the viral infection, so it is play a main important role in the defense against the viral infection. So whichever the viral infection will enter inside the body or the any cells, that can fight with the help of only the lysosome, because it has ability to digest the any type of the components, okay, that may be a microorganisms too. Next, during cell damage, lysosome burst. So what happen whenever the some injury will be happen, suppose to a particular place? We know that if our body and every skin and everything of our body parts are made up of the cell, it means obviously the cell organelles also present in them. It means that each and every cell organelles, whichever their functions, they used to be do in a particular time, is it? Suppose if any injury will be happen, okay, so what they does, if they get damage, if some of the cell will get damage, so what happens, the lysosome will get burst, okay, breaks, and the enzymes digest their own cells. So in case of such a accidental way, what they used to do, they used to be digest themselves only, okay. So this is a one specific, or the you can also call it as a unique way, okay, unique function of the lysosome. In such a damage or the accidental timing, they used to be digest themselves. So that's why it is also called as a suicidal bags. Suicidal bags. Why it is called as a bags? Because it is a hollow structure. Inside it is consisting of enzymatic secretions, digestive enzyme. That is digestive enzyme of the lysosome is also called as a hydrolytic enzyme. What it is called? Hydrolytic enzyme. So whenever the injury or any damage will be there, they used to be digest themselves with the help of their own digestive enzyme, that is a hydrolytic enzyme. Such a situation, according to that, they were get named as a suicidal bags, okay, they used to be suicide, is it? So themselves too they get sacrificed. Next, this is about the lysosome, how they structures, which parts they are consisting. So whenever the question will arise, you must have to write the whole structure and draw the proper diagram. Their labelings must be there properly and significance should be there. Next, mitochondria, the next cell organelle, that is the mitochondria. So it is a rod shaped organelle bounded by the two membranes. So what is its specification? the most of the cell organelles having a double membranes only, is it? So what about the mitochondria? Is also rod in shape and it is having the two bounded membranes. Now we will see about its structure, how it looks. So you can see here where it is present, it just beyond or nearby to the same. The lysosome, Golgi apparatus are there, no? Just there only they used to be present. This one, is it? Again the mitochondria is having this membrane, is it? Inside they having this structure, the zigzag type of the structure, is it? The zigzag type of a structure inside they consisting of a lots of a matrix, that is nothing but a cytoplasm like solution only. Okay, that cytoplasm like fluid substance which is present in the mitochondria, it is called as a matrix. Okay, inside the matrix lots of a projection like structures are present. Okay, on their this structure, suppose this is the structure. Okay, on this margins lots of such a projections will present there. Okay, so they having a different roles. So these projections are helps in the synthesis of the ATP molecules. So that is nothing but a respiration process whichever takes place, is it? Now inside the matrix which are the molecules are present, all type of a nutrition are present in them, proteins, okay, carbohydrate, fats, okay, lipids, all these solutions are present inside the matrix because it is required for the synthesis of the ATP molecules, is it? Without that the energy cannot synthesize in our body, is it? So that is their role. And one more thing is that they also having their own DNA molecules and the ribosomes. So what is the ribosome? In the previous video I told you the ribosome is act as a factory for the production of the proteins, is it? So the protein molecule synthesized from the ribosome cell organelle, that is also one cell organelle like all these organelles. So they having their own DNA molecules. So their own DNA molecules of mitochondria are in circular shaped. Okay, but in most of the cases the DNA are zigzag in shape. So those are actually like this, having a two strands, but here they also having a two strands but they are in a circular shaped. Okay, in human beings and other organisms the DNA always is two stranded and parallel to each other, but in case of a mitochondria it is a spherical shaped or circular shaped. So one more unique thing is that they having their own DNA and ribosomes, so that's why they used to be produce their self protein molecules and the DNA. What is the DNA? Just we have talked, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid, which is essential for the hereditary and transfer the genetic materials, that is nothing but a characters from one generation to next generation, from parents to their daughters, son, or their offsprings or the new individual. Okay, now what is the significance of the mitochondria? So it is a powerhouse of the cell. Why it is called as a powerhouse of the cell? Because it helps in the synthesis of the ATP molecules, adenosine triphosphate. What is the long form of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate molecules. So that is called as a energy currency. ATP is called as a energy currency. So whole this process takes place inside the mitochondria, that's why it is called as a powerhouse of the cell. Next, the energy is released in the form of adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP. Okay, next it can synthesize their own proteins as they have their own DNA and ribosomes, is it? So these are their unique features which they used to be produced in themselves only. So now in case of other organelles such things are not available, like that they don't have their own ribosomes, they don't have their own DNA molecules, is it? So this is just unique about the mitochondria. Now each of they having their uniqueness, is it? About the reticulum, endoplasmic reticulum, they used to synthesize the protein and the lipids, is it? And their structure is somewhat different according to their having the granules on their membrane. What about the Golgi apparatus? It is also having a vesicles, is it, that helps in the synthesis of the one more cell organelle, that is very big thing, that is the lysosome. What is the role of the lysosome? It used to be digest the materials with the help of their own digestive enzyme, is it? And they have ability to synthesize the hydrolytic enzyme, and they can fight against the any viral things, is it? So now mitochondria having their own DNA and the proteins. Next organelle is that plastid. So plastid is what it is? It is the organelle which is present only in the plant cell. So till now, whichever the organelles we have studied, all they present in the plant and animal cells. But in case of the plastid, it is present only in the plant cell. So now, which are the types of the plastids? Okay, those are the chromoplast and a leucoplast. Okay, so one word may you have heard, that is the pigments, is it? Chlorophyll pigments and the chloroplast, is it? Those words always repeated in our classes, is it, from the lower classes till now. So why? Because that helps in the production of the food materials as the photosynthesis process, is it? So that is nothing but a one part of the plastid, but we don't know that is a subtype of the plastid, or you can also call it as it is a one part of the plastid. Now plastid is always appears in many colors, but mostly in the greenish color only, because we know that each and every plants are green in color only, is it? But if we consider the fruits, vegetables, they are in somewhat differ, because of what we are going to study here. See now, which are the types of the plastids? First one chromoplast, second one leucoplast. Leucoplast means what? Why it is named as a leucoplast? It is also type of a chloroplast, but it is having no color. Okay, it is a colorless, that's why it is called as a leucoplast. Plast is nothing but plastid. Now chromoplast. Chromo means having a color, is it? Chromosome having a color body, is it? So chromoplast is nothing but the colored plastid. So now you can see leucoplast means, I can give some examples that some of the flowers, some of the vegetables, is it, they are in light white color, or they are in actually fully white in color. Okay, because of what? The only because the pigments are in a colorless form, or the plastids are in a colorless way, that's why that is responsible for, due to the presence of leucoplast. Okay, now what is the example of the chromoplast? The chromoplast mostly present in leaf, tomato, sunflower, and many other vegetables which are in colored form, is it? So few examples about the leucoplast, like a starch. Okay, the whitish portion which comes out from the, when you cut the potato, is it, the powder like structure, that is the starch. And oil is also colorless, but because of their production from the particular seed or the flower, they used to be appear like this, otherwise oil is also colorless. Now proteins, most of the proteins are very colorless, they don't have any proteins, so that's why we cannot identify this is the protein, or it is called as a protein. Okay, now so we will see what are the parts. So chromoplast with the chlorophyll are called as a chloroplast. So chromoplast is having a chlorophyll molecules, that's why it is a chloroplast, or it is a colored in color appearance. Okay, now just see what is their structure. They also having a double membrane, guys. So this is the first, that purple color, and greenish one, that is the outermost color covering, that it means that the plastids, or the, this is actually the structure of chloroplast. Okay, because it is a main, it acts as a major role in the plants, that's why we are studying about the chloroplast only. So it is having a two membranes, Okay, and inside the stack like structure, the coin like structure, you are seeing one by one they have set up. Is it the coin stacks? Okay, one by one after. So those are called as granum or grana. Okay, those are called as a grana. You can see here the labeling. Okay, now next structure is that the solution, or you can call it as a liquid fluid which is present. Why it is necessary for in each cell organelle? Because it provides the nutrition. It is having a dissolved type of a lots of a DNA, RNA or ribosomes, or you can call it as a protein, fats, lipids, all these are present inside them. Is it so? Because of only the liquid fluid which is present in them. The liquid fluid substance which is present inside the chloroplast, it is called as the stroma. It is called as a stroma. In case of the mitochondria, it is called as a matrix. In case of the nucleus, it is called as a nucleoplasm. Each one have their own names. Is it? Now, next is, you can see here again the here you can see the stack like structure actually called as a thallocyte. The single coin like structure of chlorophyll is called as a thallophyte. Okay, a thallocyte, and the whole structure one by one which is present called as a grana. Okay, next each they having a space in between the cell, what can we say, outer membrane, means the two membranes are present. Okay, inside there, in between the two membranes, they having a some space. Okay, they having some space in between them. So according to that, the inner membrane is called as a inner membrane, and outside whichever the membrane is present, it is called as a outer membrane. So this is about the chloroplast, which of the different components it's consisting. Okay, now what is the significance? This is the last part. The chloroplast importance. It contains a green pigment called as a chlorophyll that we know. It helps in the photosynthesis. Is it? With the help of a carbon dioxide and water molecule in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, the plant produces glucose or the carbohydrate molecules and releases oxygen. This is reaction about the photosynthesis. It means that directly the chlorophyll is present with the help of chlorophyll. So how here with the help of chlorophyll? See, whatever the sun rays or the solar rays which strike on the plant, okay, we normally say the plant used to be synthesize the food material, but because of whom? Because of only the pigments, that is a chlorophyll, which are present in them. That is a small structures, guys, greenish in color. Because of the only the plants look like a green in color. Okay, those pigments used to be absorb the sunlight and transport to the different parts of the plant, and then only with the help of that sunlight absorbing, and by taking a carbon dioxide and water molecules, they used to produce the food material in them. Okay, next, it's act as a kitchen of the cell. Why it is called act as a kitchen of the cell? Because it used to synthesize the food material in themselves only. Now what is the significance? It helps in photosynthesis. It stores the plant food. So whatever the food material is going to be produced by their own plants, they are going to be stored inside the chloroplast only. Now they have their own DNA and ribosome. As of the mitochondria, the chloroplast also having their own ribosomes and the DNA molecules to produce their own DNA molecules and the protein molecules. Now, so it can make their own protein. So they also, it means the chloroplast also can produce their own genetic materials and the protein molecules, whichever whenever they require for themselves and the other ones also. Okay, they can transport and they can utilize for themselves for the production of the protein molecules, for the production of the food materials, and along with that for the production of the DNA is helpful for the production of a new young one. That may be a fruit, we can say that may be a fruit, flower, or any kind of the production which is takes place inside that plant only. So this was about the today's session. that we have studied the different different cell organelle which helps in the different kind of the functions. Okay, we have seen each they having a different structures, is it, if they having a different parts, their significance, what are their importance, what the components they consisting, each of their components specifically what it named as, is it. So this was about the today's session. For any doubts and difficulties you can ask me anytime. In next session we are going to see the further parts or the topics of this chapter. Thank you.